Hey guys, how you doing? My name is Lena. Welcome back to another video. So today I have for you my TBR for September. I've decided to not do TBR game this month because I already have like so many books to read. Like I think like 12 or 13. So I'm not adding more books to that. No. So today I'm just going to show you all the things that I'm going to read this month because I'm participating in a lot of things and I also have to read some books for review. So without further ado, let's just get started. Again, as I told you in my last video, maybe 2 videos ago, I will be co-hosting a read-along for the Dandelion Dynasty in this channel and on Tammy's channel. Be sure to check out her channel as well. But in September, we're going to read The Grace of Kings, which is book 1. This series is so good. This is an Asian-inspired fantasy based on real events. And at the beginning, we're going to follow Emperor Mapidre. He unifies these 7 realms into one empire, but then he's about to die, and his dream of a unified kingdom is completely destroyed because some provinces want to rebel, others want to stick with the empire. We're going to follow 2 main POVs, Mata and Kuni. They're both very different, but they are so good. Man, like, this book is so good. Honestly, so good. Please, just read this. Join us. There will be a live discussion the first week of October. So be sure to join us. Like, just read this. It's so good. So for the books that I have to read for review, I'm really like in reading Assassin's Orbit. It came out on July and I still haven't read it. Life's been a mess lately, so yeah, I really need to do it. I also think that I featured it on another TBR, if I'm not completely mistaken. I'm pretty sure I did. But this is basically about a mix between Golden Girls and The Expanse. I read like the first 20 pages of this and it was already quite interesting. So I have like high hopes for it. But yeah, I definitely need to read this and I'm taking my chances here because it's also Space Opera September. So it's like the whole overall mood. But yeah, other than that, I don't really remember what it was about. I know it's a space opera. That I know for sure. Then one that I have already started but I need to finish is Spirits of Vengeance by Rob J. Hayes, which is book 3 in the Mortal Techniques, which is one of my favorite series of all time. Pawn's Gambit is one of my favorite books of this year, so I'm just like super excited to read this. Rob J. Hayes was offering ARCs and I was just like, please, I need one. The covers are stunning. I just can't. They're so beautiful. But yeah, I really don't know what we're going to follow in this one. I started this one a couple of days ago, and for now we're starting a yokai hunter, like a demon hunter, and his companion for now, and they basically pacify one of these yokai, and now they have like absorbed their revenge and they have to fulfill it, or the yokai will possess the demon hunter. It's really weird, but it's just so good, man. I read like the first like 50 pages already, like in 20 minutes. I was so into it. Tonight I will be continuing with that for sure. But yeah, I'm just super excited. I'm super excited. Highly recommend this series if you like fantasy or an Asian-inspired fantasy. It's just great. Then I will also be reading Shade by Chad Nicholas. He was kindly enough to offer me a copy of his upcoming book. This one is coming out the 5th of October, so keep that in mind. I know there's also a sale going on if you pre-order it, but yeah, we'll be reading this one this month. It's a thriller horror book and I'm just super excited. I've had Nightmare on my TBR for a long time, like thanks to Leslie at the Nerdy Narrative, but I haven't read it yet. But I'm going to start with this one, and if I really enjoy this one, I will 100% jump into Nightmare, even though I already own Nightmare too. But that's just another thing. So I've also decided to just read a Spanish book each month because I've been really like leaving Spanish literature behind for a long time. So I just, you know, decided to include at least one each month by a Spanish author or a Latin American author, but it has to be originally written in Spanish. So this month, because you know the whole Space Opera September thing, I'm going to be reading Transcrepuscular by Emilio Bueso. I have no idea what this book is about. Like, I know it's not a space opera. At least I don't think so, but it's sci-fi. It's definitely sci-fi. I think it's bio-sci-fi, which is something that I quite enjoy. Something like Children of Time, which has me really intrigued. If I'm being honest, I know that this is a trilogy, something called, I think, the Los Ojos Bizcos del Sol. Yeah, I'm very intrigued. Like, I'm very, very intrigued with this one. It's not super long, but it's not super short either. 400 pages. I think I would 100% be able to read this month. Also, I read super fast in Spanish, so everything should be fine. But yeah, I'm just so curious about this book. Like, I found it like very randomly, so we'll see. So let's just talk about Space Opera September. I participated last year. I made it to Almirant on the fleet. So this year we're also going with the same path. So to be Almirant, you have to read at least 4 books. I have 6 books for my TBR. 6 books, so I think I will manage. But this year there's new thing called book battles or book buddies, and I will be book battling Monica at Mooney Reads, and she is going to make me read Novella Gloss, which I already own on Kindle, and I've been quite excited to read, but I haven't had the chance yet. So I think it's going to be the perfect time. But yeah, I really wanted to fulfill this. Is either that or do like a buddy read if you're from the same faction. So I think it's going to work. I think it's going to work. I'm quite excited. I think it's going to be a good one. I've heard really good things about this one, and it's kind of a newer release, so I'm really excited for that. Oh, and my shirt is thematic. It's going accordingly. So for the prompts for this season, we have the first one, read a space opera novella. For this, I'm going to read Light Chaser by Peter F. Hamilton and Gareth L. Powell, which I thought was a full book. Honestly, I thought it was a full-length novel. I feel a bit stupid now, but I will be reading it for this one. If that doesn't work, I might read Sisters of the Bass Black, because I haven't read it yet, but definitely one of those two. Then the next one is read 2 space operas written by women. So for this, the first one is going to be Chaos Vector by Megan E. O'Keefe, which I already tried to read a couple of months ago, but it was just that time where I was about to get into a reading slump, and I read half of the book, never finished it, so I will start it again because I really don't remember anything about it. So I really want to read this one. I love The Velocity Weapon. It's actually the book that I'm going to make Monica read. So yeah, but I really want to finish this so I can get into the third one that has already come out, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm quite excited. I love the first book, but basically in the first one we're going to follow 2 siblings. The first one was battling in this war, and then she wakes up in this enemy ship with this AI, and 200 years have passed. The battle is over. Basically, she is now just like, what the hell am I going to do? And then we're going to follow her sibling, who is basically kind of a minister. He's basically in the middle of all this political warfare in the war 200 years prior. It's super good. I really, really like it. It was such a surprise, highly underrated sci-fi novel. But yeah, I really want to read Chaos Vector, basically. Then the other one that I will be reading is going to be Artificial Condition by Martha Wells. I really need to continue reading the Martha Diaries because I haven't done it yet. Then I have to read a book that was published before the year I was born. I was born in 1995. So I will be reading Starship Troopers because it's been so long since I've read this. I love the film. It's one of those guilty pleasure films. I fucking love it. The first one is so good. I've watched the other ones also many times, like multiple times. I love them also. But especially the first one, I love it. I love it. So satirical, fucking great. So yeah, we'll be reading Starship Troopers. It's basically about alien gigantic bugs attacking Earth. It's weird, but it's great. Extremely satirical. Highly recommend it. I love it when I read it. Love the film. But yeah, I really wanted to revisit this one, so I will be reading Starship Troopers. And the last prompt is read a book that is 500 or plus pages long. So for that, I will be continuing my journey with Alistair Reynolds, and I will be reading Redemption Arc, which is the next book after Revelation Space. For what I understand, they are not like direct sequels. They are kind of not standalones, but they are set in the same universe. So we'll see. But I have no idea what this one is about, and I don't want to know actually, because I didn't really know anything about Revelation Space when I read it, and that was the way to go. I loved it. It was such a good sci-fi book, like such a good space opera. Love it. I had one like of my favorite tropes of all time, like alien civilizations. And what a fantastic recommendation, so thank you all of you. But yeah, I will continue with Redemption Arc. I'm quite excited. They're so fucking long. Honestly, 600 plus pages. Every single one of them, like, why? So that's what I'm going to be reading for Space Opera September. And also I made the decision to read also a graphic novel a month. Like, no wonder my TBRs are fucking low. Like, I have to read like 2 self-published books, 1 Spanish book, at least 1 sci-fi, at least 1 POC author, and at least 1 graphic novel. So at least this book, like, so stupid. But I'm also going to be reading Harley. This was gifted to me for my birthday last year, and I'm super excited. I love this cover. Like, you take the dust jacket off, and it's also Harley. It's just super cool. I love it. Such a cool touch. But yeah, this is apparently the origin story of Harley Quinn. And because I'm a DC person, I only read DC comics. So in case you hadn't realized. But yeah, I will be reading that one. And those are basically all the books that I'm going to read this month. A lot of them. Like, a lot of them. So unnecessary. I'm getting out of my reading slump. I'm progressively reading more and more and more. Again, finally, like this weekend I finished 3 books. A shocker. Have you read any of these books? Are you planning on participating on the read-along or in the Space Opera September read-along? In case you have, please leave a comment down below. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye.